Hello everyone. This is going to be a bit of a longer video. I'm going to cover the unique roles of grandparents in preventing child sexual abuse, as well as some warning signs of in-person abuse and online abuse. And then at the end of this video, I will be giving out some websites, some phone numbers, some chat numbers, different hotlines that help people who have been a victim, that are a survivor, and also a lot of these hotlines or these websites, if you're not, well, even if you are a victim of the abuse, but you don't have to be, if you reach out to them, a lot of them have like volunteer things to where you can be like a chat counselor, where they will train you and stuff like that, kind of like the Trevor Project. You don't have to have any background, they just train you, and then you become a chat counselor or whatever to help the people that call in. So that's on the opposite side of this whole thing, but if you're wanting to reach out and help people, that's something to think about. So even if you don't personally need the links and the websites that I'm sharing at the end of the video, if you have time, hour a week or whatever, that you could donate to help somebody, contact any of these websites or chat lines and just ask them if they have a volunteer program. That would be a good way to, give back to people and be supportive and showing love and let them know that they're not alone. But on this one, the first part is the unique role of grandparents in preventing child sexual abuse. And this, once again, is coming from the stopitnow.org. If you haven't looked at this site, you really should, because I'm not making videos on everything that's on their website. So there's a lot more information there. Okay, it says, the facts about child sexual abuse. Surveys of adults reveal that as many as 1 in 3 girls and 1 in 6 boys have been sexually abused before the age of 18, and the trauma of sexual abuse can affect the emotional and physical health of those children for the rest of their lives. 9 out of 10 children who are sexually abused already know the person who abuses them. So we mustn't let feelings of helplessness fueled by news accounts of horrific crimes perpetrated by strangers distract us from the many ways we actually can protect our children from more likely risks closer to home. Fortunately, the sexual assaults by strangers, although real, are relatively rare. The truth is, most often the children who sexually abuse or the people who sexually abuse children are close relatives, friends, and other trusted caretakers of our children. People we care about who have horribly lost control. As such, as half of all sexual abuse in minors is committed by other adolescents and children. Sometimes grandparents have to acknowledge the possibility that their own partner has been sexually inappropriate or abusive towards a child. If we have the courage to face the facts about who abuses children, this knowledge gives us an incredible opportunity to identify risks and to act before the child is harmed. Information especially for grandparents. Because a significant percentage of children are sexually abused by someone in their immediate or extended family, grandparents can play an invaluable part in addressing these sexual behavior concerns. And those grandparents who have caregiving responsibilities or any level of legal guardianship of young people in their family are in a particularly good position to take steps to protect the well-being of those children. Through the Stop It Now helpline, grandmothers and grandfathers have identified themselves as individuals likely to speak up in a family situation of child sexual abuse, where before there was only an atmosphere of silence and secrecy. Grandparents from around the nation call the Stop It Now helpline to ask important questions, express their concerns, and take extraordinary steps to protect their grandchildren. Why grandparents need to speak up. Life experience and a position outside the immediate family gives grandparents unique advantages when it comes to facilitating conversations and encouraging action to prevent sexual abuse. Whether a grandchild is suspected of being sexually abused by an adult or another adolescent or child, grandparents can encourage family members to speak up to prevent further abuse and to get the help for the family member who may have a sexual behavior problem. Here are some ways grandparents can help protect a child. 1. Grandparents have a perspective on life and family that allows them to take certain risks on behalf of the wellness of the family as a whole. 2. When there is a prior history of sexual abuse within the family, including a situation where a grandparent has offended in the past, grandparents can draw on their experiences to help navigate a current situation of abuse and prevent future harm. 3. Grandparents can often recognize warning sign behaviors of sexual abuse in a family's history, signs which might otherwise go unnoticed. 4. Grandparents may offer the emotional safety that a child requires to begin exposing a tightly held secret. 5. Grandparents can offer emotional support and influence for both abusive and non-abusive adults from within the privacy of the family. 6. Grandparents who are one step removed from the conflict may operate relatively free from emotional and financial barriers that often prevent other family members from speaking up. 7. A grandparent may be a trusted adult who can offer family members a safe respite from the often frightening dynamics of sexual abuse. And number 8, grandparents as next of kin can offer temporary or permanent care for a child who may be unsafe in their own home. If sexual behavior problems exist between two children in the home, a grandparent may be perceived as someone who will be compassionate towards the children. Okay, now on this next section, it's warning signs of possible sexual abuse in a child's behavior. Noticing one sign doesn't necessarily mean that the child was sexually abused, but the presence of several of these warning signs suggests that you begin asking questions and consider seeking help. Keep in mind that some of these signs can emerge at other times of stress, such as during a divorce, death of a family member or a pet, problems at school or with friends, other anxiety-inducing or traumatic events. The behaviors you may see in a child or adolescent: have nightmares or other sleep problems without an explanation, seems distracted or distant at odd times, has a sudden change in eating habits, either refusing to eat, loses or drastically increases in appetite, or has trouble swallowing. Sudden mood swings, rage, fear, insecurity, or withdrawal. Leaves clues that seem likely to provoke a discussion about sexual issues. Writes, draws, plays, or dreams of sexual or frightening images. Develops new or unusual fear of certain people or places. Refuses to talk about a secret shared with an adult or older child. Talks about a new, older friend. Suddenly has money, toys, or other gifts without reason. Thinks of self or body as repulsive, dirty, or bad. exhibits adult-like sexual behaviors, language, and knowledge. Signs more typical of younger children. An older child behaving like a younger child, such as bedwetting or thumb-sucking, has new words for private body parts, resists removing clothes when appropriate times such as bath, bed, toileting, or diapering, asks other children to behave sexually or play sexual games, mimics adult-like sexual behavior with toys or stuffed animals, wetting and soiling accidents unrelated to toilet training, signs more typical in adolescence, self-injury, cutting or burning, for example, inadequate personal hygiene, drug and alcohol abuse, sexual promiscuity, running away from home, depression, anxiety, suicide attempts, fear of intimacy or closeness, compulsive eating or dieting. Physical warning signs. Physical signs of sexual abuse are rare. If you see these signs, bring your child to the doctor. Your doctor can help you understand what may be happening and test for sexually transmitted diseases. Pain, discoloration, bleeding, or discharges in genitals, anus, or mouth. Persistent or reoccurring pain during urination and bowel movements. Wetting and soiling accidents unrelated to toilet training. What you can do if you see the warning signs. Create a safety plan. Don't wait for proof of sexual abuse. Look for patterns or behaviors that make children less safe. Keep track of behaviors that concern you. There, in my other videos, I have discussed other things that would fall into that topic. So that's something to check out. Now, this one is warning signs a young person may be a target of online sexual abuse. How can we prevent our children from being sexually abused online? We already know how difficult it is for children to talk about being sexually abused, whether by a man or a woman or by another child. When sexually abusive behavior occurs online, some children may not even realize they are being exploited, and those who do may not tell, especially if they realize they have broken a safety rule or believe their internet privileges may be taken away. This clearly adds another barrier to children feeling able to let someone know if they are worried about their friendships online or someone's behavior towards them. Talk frequently and honestly with your kids about experiences that they may be experimenting with online, and learn the warning signs in children who may be struggling. Some of these behaviors may be part of growing up or caused by other factors in a child's life. If you are worried, recognize that your child may be frightened too. Talk to someone you trust or seek the support of a professional. Signs that a child or young person may be target of sexual abuse online includes isolating themselves, spending increasing amounts of time on the internet, becoming increasingly secretive, particularly around their use of their new technology, shutting the door and hiding what they have on screen when someone enters the room, not being able to talk openly about their activity online, becoming more possessive of their cell phone and concerned if someone else picks it up or wants to look at it, agitated behavior when answering their phone and needing to take calls in private. Social changes. Developing a pattern of leaving the family home for periods of time with no explanation about where they are going. Vague talk of a new friend but offering no further information. Spending increasing amounts of time talking secretly with a new friend online. Not wanting to be alone with a particular adult or young person. Emotional changes. sudden, unexplained personality changes and mood swings, outbursts of anger and irritation, self-harming activities. Okay, so that part wraps up what I'm going to be doing for this series. There are some hotlines and stuff that I will give out now. They range from text, just the website itself, calling, or chatting online. Whichever one is the safest for you if you are a victim. I've seen that on a few of them they have the quick exit button, and I can't say for 100% positive, but I think when you hit the quick exit button on a lot of these, it doesn't even leave it in your history. So you might want to double check that if you're alone at some point. But I think when you hit the quick exit, it also removes it from your history, is what I was told by one of these. The first one I'm going to talk about is victimconnect.org/resources/national-hotlines/. You can call or text 1-855-484-2846, and it's called the Victim Connect Resource Center. They have on the website, they have the quick exit button. They have the phone that you can call or text, and on the website they have the chat thing available. They also have a list of resources, like other hotlines. There is a Strong Hearts Native helpline. It's 1-844-762-8483. They are available Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 Central Standard Time via phone. The Strong Hearts Native Helpline is a safe, anonymous, and confidential service for Native Americans experiencing domestic violence and dating violence. I was told a while back about this one when I was doing another video, and even though they advertise that it is for the domestic violence and stuff, I heard that they do have some sexual assault counselors as well with them, but I do not know if you have to like give proof of a CDIB card or something like that with them. I've never called them, so I don't know how that one actually works. Then there is Crossroads Scares, which is CROSSROADSCARES.org/help sexual assault. And their 24-hour crisis helpline is 1-336-228-0360. They also have the exit site quick button at the top. It's for sexual assault survivors. It says, if you need help, the following confidential, safe, and secure hotlines are available to help you. You can also call Crossroads 24-hour crisis hotline, again, at 1-336-228-0360. They do abide by the HIPAA laws, and they are confidential, but there are some exceptions in place by law, and the following must be disclosed: abuse of a child, elder, or mentally disabled individual, intent to harm or commit a crime, knowledge that may lead to exoneration of a criminal case. So, I mean, every hotline has to report certain things. And then there's the RAINN network, RAINN. Their phone number is 1-800-656-HOPE, which is 4673. And they also have the chat line available on their website. Then there is the DoD self-help line, provides a number of services including the following: the telephone helpline at 877-995-5247. They can connect you with trained professionals that can provide you with one-on-one confidential crisis support. If you're not able to call toll-free, you can call, or if you're not able to call toll-free or DSN, dial 202-540-5962. They have the online helpline with the chat button, and all this information right here is at the crossroadscares.org/help sexual assault. You can get to that website. And in fact, this one actually has the exit site button 2 different places, so it's really safe. Then there is the National Indigenous Women's Resource Center. You can find that at niwr.org/hotlines-victims-and-survivors. This is the one, it has the Strong Hearts Native Helpline on that one. The Strong Hearts is actually strongheartshelpline.org. You can go there to chat online with the counselor. Rape, or the National Deaf Domestic Violence Hotline. I have actually talked to somebody on this one, and they said that they do cover sexual assaults and stuff like that too. It doesn't have to be domestic. It can be stranger attacks. They are 855-812-1001, and the hotline itself, or the website, is thedeafhotline.org. And then this little bit of information here is how I'm just going to finish this out, because this says, what is sexual abuse? Now, this one is found at crisistextline.org, and they have the big text us button up there, so you can like immediately connect with a counselor. But it says sexual abuse is absolutely any form of undesired sexual behavior, period. It's in the high-profile cases you hear about in the news, and in the quiet, unwanted sexual encounter with someone you thought you trusted. Wait, back up. Sexual abuse is absolutely any form of undesired sexual behavior, period. It's in the high-profile cases you hear about in the news, and in the quiet, unwanted sexual encounter with someone you thought you trusted. If you have experienced sexual abuse, you are not alone. So please, if any of these videos is like close to home to you and you want to reach out, any of these websites or these phone numbers that I have just given you would be a really good place to start. And if you suspect that your child or a neighbor's child or your child's friend is being sexually abused, don't think it away. Make sure you call somebody, even if it's just a school counselor, or tell the daycare ladies, or your uncle that's a cop, run it by him. It doesn't matter, but make it known so that we as a community can stand together and protect our children. Have a good day, everybody, and stay safe.